Welcome back to Pocket Rocket Garage. Thanks again for joining me for another video on the classic Mini. Now if you haven't found the channel before, I'm Kevin. I'm restoring a really rusty 1998 Mini Cooper sports pack. Before we get going on today's video, I'd just like to say, as usual, a big thank you to everyone that's coming back to the channel and watching the videos. If you're new to the channel and you like rust, classic minis, classic cars, rust, you're going to love this channel. So in the next few videos and small clips, I'll be showing you all the work I did on the rear valance. Now I had a lot of problems with the rear valance, but I'll explain as I show you the small video clips and photos from what I've done over the past few weeks. Now it does feel like all the videos have been on the rear end of this classic Mini, but there was so much rust and so much hidden rot that it has taken me way longer than expected. And my deadline for around September is looking increasingly unrealistic, but I will do my best to get there. Now, when you watch this video, you'll see that, of course, I'm upside down. I've not got a rollover jig. I'm using all normal electric tools. I've got no airline, no compressor. So if you're going to have a go at this yourself, take a look at these videos. You'll see it can be done, but it does take a little bit longer. I'm going to stop you here because this is where the rear valance goes horribly wrong and I can't actually fit the rear valance. So I'm going to explain what the problem is, how I'm going to rectify it, and then we'll carry on from there. So after a bit of research and many attempts at fitting this rear valance and a lot of head scratching, I realised what my problem was. And in the video you can see that the closing panel of the assembly is in the wrong position. It needs to be moved towards the front of the car, and then this will allow the rear valance to fit correctly. Now, the only solution I could come up with was to use my trusty angle grinder, get a cutting disc, make a nice slit along the folded edge, and then I could bend this towards the front of the car and weld it into position. We're back at the rear end of the Mini once again. Now so far I've drilled and plug welded the rear valance into position. I now need to remove the boot so I can access the areas where the hinges are to get a few extra plug welds in. Now I'll show you how I do those. I haven't shown you the rest of the plug welds because they took so long. I didn't want you to get bored and switch over to another channel. So let's get that done right now. Let's add in some extra plug welds here and here. Now I couldn't gain access to this area when the boot hinge was in place. So I'm going to try and drill through just the top two skins now, open the hole up and leave the bottom skin untouched that I can plug weld onto that. These two holes are opened up and ready for plug welding. If I put my screwdriver in there, you'll see it doesn't go all the way through because it's stopping on the bottom layer of metal, which is perfect. That's all of the plug welding done, grinded down, finished. Finally, the rear valance is in place, and all that's left to do is give it a quick clean with some degreaser, and I'm going to add a small amount of body filler just in places, just to neaten it up, and I'll put the body filler straight onto metal because you get a good key, and then your primer over the top later on. These brackets are looking super tasty. They're almost done now. I've given them a good coat of zinc primer, so when they're plug welded onto the boot floor, it will help them against the moisture and rust that forms between the two panels. Now, I've just test fitted the rear subframe. It fits nicely, a little tight, but it's on. All the bolts line up again, and I'm really pleased with that after welding on the rear valance and doing a lot of work to the rear valance, so that's good to know. Does anyone want any ketchup or mustard on their brackets? Let's get the brackets in place, let's bolt them through, and then we can start plug welding. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a long time coming, but the boot area is finally finished. All that's left is to put the battery box in, but I'm going to leave that until I've done all of the hill board repairs so I can gain as much access as possible. Check out what it looks like now and let me know in the comments if you think I've done a good job. content and you like the project, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that subscribe button, follow me on the Mini's journey and getting it closer and closer to being back on the road. Thanks again for watching, see you on the next one.